Yes, stress and anxiety is a natural human response to a perceived threat or danger. And we think of it as an evolutionary response called the fight or flight response. And it's when our body perceives a threat, like back in the day when we were cave people, it was that a tiger might come into our cave and try and eat us. And so that, naturally, for everyone would be quite a frightening and threatening situation. So our body kicks into overdrive, and we know in that situation we need to respond physically. So we either need to fight the tiger or we need to run away really quickly. And so our body actually responds by giving us sort of super strength to be able to fight harder than we ever would normally be able to fight, or run away faster than we normally would. That's great if we need to, respond to a tiger, if we need to escape a situation. But unfortunately, the way that we've evolved means that anxiety or fight or flight response can kick in at situations where there's nothing actually to fight or run away from. So it might be that we've got lots of bills to pay, or we're having a hard time with our relationship, or we've got heaps of work stresses going on. Often people find that they kind of have that same anxiety physical response as though there's something they need to fight or run away from, but there's really nothing to do physically. And that's when kind of stress can become quite unhelpful. So I guess if we talk about kind of the symptoms of the fight or flight response, they would be things like your heart racing, your breathing going quickly, often people feel quite sweaty, the blood pressure increases, people feel like they can't think straight, and actually get a lot of muscle tension as well. If you think about when you're needing to respond physically to something, that's really great because you need lots of strength in your muscles to respond physically. So that would be the common kind of physical response to if the fight or flight response kicks in, and actually it's exactly the same if we're feeling stressed or anxious. Those same physical changes happen. I think looking at the individual, what kind of things are making that person anxious? Is it useful to be anxious? If you're needing to run away from something, if there is a tiger, or if you're needing to run quickly to the bus, it's maybe good to have a little bit of stress or anxiety so you can have that physical response. But if it's worries about your heart, or things in your relationship, or bills, or thoughts or situations that are just making you stress quite a lot of the time, then looking at ways to manage that can be really useful. So as a psychologist, we like to look at what kind of situations make people anxious or stressed, what thought processes people might be having that can be triggering off that stress or anxiety, and teaching people ways to maybe change those thoughts or look at how they can actually relax their bodies. So we teach people a lot of relaxation type techniques to calm down that anxiety or that stress response, because sometimes it's just not helpful to be feeling kind of stressed and strung out or anxious.